There's no plausible case to make from the Bible that God hates abortion. And I recently saw this tweet come across my feed on Twitter, and this is an argument you cannot plausibly make from the Bible. This is an argument that must be imposed upon the Bible, and any toeholds that it thinks it can find are pretty meager. It must reread things like Jeremiah 1:5 and Psalms 137 and Luke 1 as indications that the authors assigned full personhood to fetuses. And this entirely conflicts with the actual data from the Bible and from the history of early Judaism and Christianity that bears directly on that question. For instance, the scholarly consensus is that Exodus 21 verses 22 through 25 treats a fetus more as property than a person. Its accidental destruction only results in a fine, and that is a fine that is assigned by the father. There's not even a standardized value placed on a fetus, and there are arbitrators there to ensure that the fine is not exorbitant. And when we get into Greco-Roman period Judaism, we have three different perspectives on personhood that are being drawn from Greek philosophy. And this is the question of ensoulment, when the soul enters the body, which is the point at which the fetus becomes a person. According to Pythagoreans and Epicureans, this happened at conception. According to Aristotelians, this happened at the quickening, when the fetus is fully formed and is able to move on its own. According to the Stoics, this happened at birth, when the child made contact with the outside air. And so in early Judaism, we see some debates among the more philosophically minded Jewish folks about which of these is the most likely. And we see the same debates in early Christianity, but by the 4th century, Christians had settled on the Aristotelian view. They considered abortion to be unseemly at any point in a pregnancy, but once the fetus had reached the quickening and was moving on its own, that is the point at which it became a much more serious crime, at which point it became murder. And that was the overwhelming consensus view within Christianity until the 19th century. So when today's Christians say it's murder whenever it happens, that's not something you find in the Bible. That's something deriving from contemporary identity politics, and primarily as they have developed since the 19th century, and for evangelicals since the 1970s. And it's being retrojected onto the Bible so that they can leverage the authority of the Bible to try to structure power and values and boundaries to serve their interests. But again, there's no plausible case to make from the Bible that God hates abortion.